Every one of you watching this screen, look out.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
What did I tell you about cartoons?
They've got a lot of brains, and they've got a lot of chutzpah.
Tell me how comic books make you feel, Dave.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hello, this is Frantz, Kantor, cartoonist, illustrator, and ToonTalker, and I'm here with
Jim Bridges, and I'm the founder of the Australian Cartoon Museum.
Right.
And we just love doing animation books.
Yeah. So what are we doing? We're doing a book review, and this
Ralph
is
Breaks the Internet.
Right. So this is the second. This is the book, The Art of Ralph Breaks the Internet. This is the art book of the second film that came out. The first film, of course, Wreck-It Ralph. And that's about this character, the titular character, and his little offsider.
Who looks like she's from a lot of other films, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, these are basically, the premise of the first film was that, there were arcade games, and they kind of got mixed up, and, they tried to sort of live a life outside of the game. So that's why he sort of, Wreck-It Ralph was a character that based on a humanized version of, say, Donkey Kong. So, there were other characters that representative of like other games and things. So this is extending that idea, that concept of now he's wrecking the internet. So it's really an exploration outside of the world of games and into the internet. So let's have a look at
They're all coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. I've forgotten the girl's name. Veruca, not Veruca.
So it's a Pixar Disney film, is it?
Vanellope.
Is it a Pixar film? No.
No, it's a Disney film.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of the talent from Pixar, of course, also work for Disney.
So who's the publisher?
This is Spectacles. I don't know.
Chronicle Books.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Close. In San Francisco. So this is concept art for the film. Looks very much like the final look and feel. So these guys are incredibly accomplished at getting this, the style of the final artwork, the style of the final look of the film itself. So they're just exploring, this world created of, circuit boards and things like that, sort of inside the computer. So, this is where these ideas came from for the city.
This is Tron City 40 years later, is it? Is it Tron City?
More, Tron and, Lawnmower Man, that sort of thing where the characters went in. But this time, of course, they're going into the data streaming elements of the internet in the cloud. So you get all these sort of ideas, Amazon, Instagram, Intel, YouTube, lots of, and Facebook likes, Twitter. So it's fantastic. I love the energy of this artist.
It's also a comment on media.
Yeah. It's a comment on media, and a game character breaking into media, into modern media, the world of Twitter and stuff like that. So these are the characters in the lineup. You've got Sergeant Calhoun again. You've got Vanellope, and of course Wreck-It. Fix-It Felix is there again. Then you've got other characters which I don't remember from the first venture. So these are really, really cool. Amy Thompson, some great art directors here, and Corey Loftus, production designer.
Tell us about Amy Thompson,
director. Well, you'll see her work in the book.
She
the idea of look and
she
feel.
Does character design, does she?
Well, she acts as art director as well. So these are very. With a 3D film, you've already got a franchise, so in many ways you don't need to rejig the wheel. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. But it's always helpful to create a freshness to the characters. That's why they're redrawn again. I mean, there's a lot of this sort of notes, visual notes over the animation to try to, create a 2D driven energy in the 3D film. So in a way, it just comes down to pencil and paper. That's it. This is actually quite handy. These are like visual notes to improve the assets, and also like to make sure everybody are on the right sort of page when it comes to the puppets.
Stay on character.
Yeah, but it's also to what to sort of achieve, what to look like, what it should look like, because it's easier to draw it rather than move the pixels around. But if you were to take a screen grab and then draw over it, then you have a perfect example of what you want as instructions. These are typical poses, T poses. A lot of this stuff is cookie cut. A lot of the characters, the decisions and things. But it's okay, I guess, for background characters which don't really matter. But it's just another part of the process. These are beautiful. These are Matthias Lechner and Jeff Merkart. These are lovely pencils. And you might say, well, that's a 3D film. Why do you need that? You need that because you need to know where to go, how far to push the puppets. That's the problem with 3D. If you don't have this sort of planning, you get a very ordinary film. And
Although it'd be great to see a cartoon film like this
in 3D would be lovely.
That'd be great.
Yeah, they spitball a lot of the images and things. They kind of spitball to try to get sort of what else can you do? What else can we put in there? What's the rest of the resonance, the visual resonance of the film?
So tell me about spitball. What's spitballing? What's spitballing?
These are final storyboards. Spitballing is just coming up with ideas that are outside the box.
Okay.
So nothing to do with the problem you're looking at. So you can see with this, they're trying to grab information from circuit boards, right?
Yeah.
From modems and things. And to create this sort of, inside the modem, there is a circuit board. So they're trying to create this sort of terminus where, traffic comes in and out. And
they can get ideas, spitball ideas.
Yeah. And it's
almost
obviously because of the green of the lights.
Visual
and
gags.
Like
Visual gags.
These are color mood boards by Helen Chen. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And, really on character. And, what can you say? It's like you could easily watch a whole film, if it was possible to be drawn like that. It would be magic. There's a lot of going through cables and all of this sort of stuff exploding through the air, data transfer. How do you visualize that? And these are sort of, the decisions that they make. This is kind of a nice rainbowy sort of effect. And here you go. This is the internet. So this is where all of the internet exists. So it's like a mega city. You've got some weird stuff going here. Is like a child's suitcase with a coronavirus. I don't know. I love this stuff. They call this Wimmel Builder when you go down into the little worlds of detail of people like, Where's Wally? You got these sort of magical
there
things.
He is.
Yeah.
There's Where's Wally.
Yeah. So there's a thing called Wimmel Builder where it's like all of this reduced world.
Do they go into the dark internet?
See the guy looking for information. He's got a tag, a geotag.
Oh yeah. Do they go into the dark net?
No. Crushed candy. Like candy. These are puns on games on the phone. Candy Crush is crushed candy. Yeah. So you find this throughout the film, and it's cute. It's a very cute thing. So trying to visualize something, the unvisionable, really, internet cablings and data transfer and things like that. How how do you visualize it and create this world that Ralph can travel through and have these adventures? Look at that beautiful pattern of the circuit boards, the highways, super highways.
They are beautiful.
Information
They
super
are.
highways. So if this came out like 20 years ago when the internet first happened, this would be a really big deal, this film. But now it's kind of like, a bit humdrum.
A lot of
Look at the
people,
color design of this. This is
did this come out before
Ming Ju, Helen
that-
Chen.
the
Beautiful work.
The Pixar film about the girl's brain? Did that come out before? Did this come out
Yeah,
before?
that came out before. But this is more. It's an extension of Wreck-It Ralph, which
When they
breaking the games.
when they make
Now you're breaking the
a second film, do they use much physical material from the first one? Or is it all brand new stuff?
No, they have access to it, but what they're doing is essentially
Because
extending the possibilities.
Disney's noted for ripping off old stuff,
Well, their own old stuff.
Yeah, their own old stuff.
Yeah, no, this is slightly different. I love these. These are Amy Thompson. She's one of the art directors, character designers for the film. Oh no, sorry, this is Borgia Montoro, Nicholas Orsi. Yeah, Amy Thompson is the art director. She's sort of structuring this. And Corey Loftus is the production designer. Sorry. So these are the illustrators and cartoonists that they hire to give more energy and impact to the ideas of the films. They're beautiful in themselves. Building the web. So I'm kind of left out in the dark with all of this schematics and things like that, but they're trying to build sort of some form of a structure,
A visual
in order
platform.
to design
A visual platform to build
the
everything
assets.
on.
Yeah. So these are lovely, aren't they? Mike Yamada did these beautiful internals of machinery. Now they look very sort of Sid Mead-ish super buildings. Jim Martin, Paul Felix, Mike Yamada again. This is incredible retro look. It's very Sid Mead-ish in a way. This stuff. A lot of this is now you're getting into switches and things. You probably, if you ever open up a computer, you'll recognize a lot of these shapes. They're very interesting. And of course, when I was a kid, I used to look underneath a TV set to sort of imagine the sort of Jetson City with these valves
Under it.
So a lot of people. This is sort of like
We had to go around the back.
Well, this is
Take
kind
the
of.
back off. We couldn't do it from looking underneath it.
Well, they tell you not to take the back off. Well, this is kind of like that idea of looking inside the mechanics of the machine and finding a little world, right? A tiny world inside with escalators and things and different sections with the switches and stuff like that. This is a beautiful colour mood boards by Ming Jie, Helen Chen.
50s style.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. This is Ryan Lang's work, but he's referencing a lot of retro styles, which are very popular again because people are suddenly discovering that style because of the material. So this is the YouTube. This is fantastic. This is YouTube itself. So I don't know. This is Google. So they're using all of these proper companies. This is Facebook. Look at that. It's beautiful. I mean, who wouldn't have thought Facebook should be a book? What's that for? No, I'm fine. Thanks. Instagram. And these are the what are these, like tweets or something, or direct? These are just directions, I think. So they're using a lot of the icons that we're familiar with in the building of the world, packets of information, like, missives, letters and things like that. That's Amazon. So you get those Amazon, it's looking at, bits and sort of like Minecraft in a way to sort of influence how these things are built inside.
This looks like a
little blocks,
a
little
Cinerama,
boxes.
Sketch, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Spitballs, it's just coming up with things that
The
are...
old stuff was the book.
Yeah.
The book, and now it's different. Now it's not the book anymore.
Well, I think this is probably Facebook that represents, like on a pillar, they're iconographing these things. But look how beautiful they've redesigned the Twitter birds. This is just a lovely scene, this one. And look at the little, on screen, right? She has these little comments. So see their little hearts and the little retweet symbols and things like that. It's using the language, the visual language of the internet as a visual, as a sort of a vehicle for communication, a visual communication inside the movie. This is in the Twitter forest.
Visual noise.
So this is very much like, the comments, social comments on advertising and pop-ups and stuff like that. Oh boy, and emails and all these different things that pop up on your phone and on your emails and when you visit a site and things. So this is sort of just the noise, the visual noise. This whole idea of pop-ups, I think, were lampooned brilliantly in Futurama, which was like 10, 20 years before this. So fishing, the fish market. So, there's a lot of Guerrilla, Grisby's. There's visual puns in there. Sometimes you'll find references to some of the people that are involved in the work here. Kawaii rivals, GIF and take technologies. They're just puns that they put in there to dress up the scenery. These are like lolcats, thug life. You can see the cats, the memes of cats, and this is beautiful. Nicholas Orsi does some great work in this book for character designs and just ideas for what can be funny, what can work as gags. Because a lot of these movies, like Pixar, for example, are written from the visual point of view. So the story artist is actually the story artist that work on the storyboards, and then the script writing comes in development from the ideas, from the gags and the visuals that they come up with. So you don't need wheels, of course, because you're streaming. You're going in a data stream and things like that. You are here. Who hasn't ever felt like that? That's amazing. If you're in a city, a big place, and they have a little sign, "You are here." You say, "I'm here, but where am I?" It's beautiful. The designs, they have a certain, Mike Yamada does some great stuff here. This sort of, curvy, very retro feel for these shapes. So they're familiar, and they have a feeling of beauty and aesthetics that are like an incredibly well-designed aircraft.
Modular.
Yeah.
Well, these things stick out like...
Yeah. Ooh. Someone's been... that's an interesting one. Quite like those. So that, exploring shapes and things, and, these are important for a film that needs to explore new territory. New friends. So these are new characters, obviously, that come up. Yes is a very good character, knows more. These are new characters that are introduced. Net user. So they've got these little blockies. Again, netizens. Board, Double Dan and Little Dan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we'll look at some of this, some of these works. This is Amy Thompson. So this is her work. She's the art director, and she's very, very good. Just the personality of this. This is a very dark character, darker than Vanellope. So sort of like a hero for Vanellope. Knows more as a little pop-up, guy. You could see with the symbols and things like that. This reminds me of the owl from Disney's stories. The shorts on the teacher owl.
Yeah.
He often had this sort of mitre hat.
But this is like a character out
Pixar.
No,
This is a light bulb.
Yeah.
This is Amy
Ads,
Thompson.
like ads. It
Yeah.
carries like an ads, yeah.
Beautiful stuff. So this is the world. This is the setup. You know, the establishment within the old, within the new. So you know, it's all very formal as well. This is going into the slaughter race. Some more designs on how to get, because they had a race, Vanellope and that, they had a race in the first film, but this is kind of on steroids. This is a real racing game, and you know, you've got to really refer to a lot of the famous racing games that we're familiar with now on platforms. So you know, that's why that needs to up that ante a little bit. You can see some of these beautiful drawings. Poor Felix. Color, action, the look and feel. Some great stuff. Kevin Nelson.
And colours like a boot.
Yeah, so they're obviously channeling Mad Max with the
yeah.
trucks, you know, from the new film. So they'll probably they'll probably throw in a few references in there, like dust storms and stuff, and you know, some of the shots maybe you might find familiarized from the film. Shank is a lovely drawn character. This is Amy Thompson's work. She's, you know, really beautiful, fluid moves, and but again, not you know, reliant on corny expressions and stuff. It's very, very, very beautiful stuff.
And obviously,
Vanellope, yeah.
Vanellope is
beautiful
influenced by this bad girl.
Yeah, well, it's her hero. You can see the relationship they build together. There's different earlier versions. It's very extreme.
It's Frank Millerish, isn't
Yeah, but look at her. This is Jeff Mergart. So this is Amy Thompson's work. So that's some of the other elements, some of the other characters. But you can see, you know, where they come from. That's very.
Cruella.
Yeah, I was thinking of Cruella with the eyes and the hair. So it's Jeff Mergart again. That's a beautiful. It just this lovely expressions that he's able to draw, and this is great to see for a 3D
this
film.
Is updated versions of the Captain Hook.
Yeah, well, he'd be, you know, able to draw that without any problem. Some lovely work. Corey Loftus is one of the other art directors. I think production designer. It's beautiful stuff. And of course, these are lovely. Jeff Mergart is sort of he has this sort of classic Disney aesthetic for the characters, but then, you know, he can get into
Mad Max.
Yeah, he can really mix it up and get into the thing. This is some of Jeff Mergart's expression sheets. You know, he's a classically inspired animator.
The pencils always look more dynamic than the finished art, don't they?
They have to. They're there to inspire the finished art. So without these pencils, you wouldn't have any finished art. These are color mood boards to give the look and feel of the each scene. Each important scene in the film are colored, and they created this sort of. It started with DreamWorks, I think, or maybe it started before that.
I mean,
but with what's that film?
The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, the Prince of Egypt.
One
They
of the
did a
best
whole color.
I mean, a colour is almost a
mood
character.
board.
Colour is almost a character.
Yeah, well, that's where the whole dialogue of these, you know, accents of moods that go throughout the film.
Yeah.
That's where they sort of come from. I mean, they obviously they've referred to them in, you know, Alice in Wonderland or something like that, but they really came to being more codified, I think, and consciously worked with Prince of Egypt, and then from then on in, a lot of films rely on that.
What's this? I mean, I haven't seen this film, so what's the story like compared to the first one?
It's not as tight as the first one. There's a lot of subplots and things that go off. And I think it's important to remember what you're talking about here is the internet and social media and games and things like that on mobile
Devices.
mobile devices. So it's a bigger world than the games, bigger world, and that's the thing that's I think ultimately, So there's so many things to reference, and because there's so many things to reference, it's hard to build a cohesive story. So it kind of suffered from that. But the games had a simpler premise.
But it's like the Lego movies. There's all these comments and all these...
the Lego movie, it had one plot. And
yeah, I know, but they have all these devices, all these visual hints about other aspects. So, I mean, that's what...
It can bog down with all of that.
Well, that's true, but I mean, they're trying to express, you see, in the old days... We would go to an animation movie, and that's it. And you might get a book of it. That's it.
This is why Amy Thompson.
But now you have so many platforms to view the information from.
Yeah.
So they're trying to absorb that in. Yeah, they are great.
Variants.
Yeah.
She's
That's
really,
an interesting.
Really good. Look at the gesture. Oh, she's so perfect for this. She's really, really cool. She's such a talent. Jeff Merkart, no slouch either. Both of these people, Corey Loftus, three of them, they're really responsible for a lot of the success of this movie. Yeah, there's not so much you can do with a cat, is there? It's like, there are a lot of things where cats climb into small objects because they're so silly.
Well, it's
the cat memes.
It's the
Oh my Disney. Oh my Disney. Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't remember these. I think this was some kind of a reference to pop vinyls or something.
All the things you buy.
I can't. Yeah, I can't remember that reference in the film.
I mean, this is Hello Kitty with Disney, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Tsum Tsum. So, yeah. Well, again, I have a collection of pop vinyls where Mickey is sort of stylized down to the nth degree, which is interesting. This is Jeff Merkart's. This is beautiful.
He's having fun with
Tinkerbell. Yeah.
He's turned her into a Stinkerbell.
These are lovely. Lorelei Bove. I think there was Was there not a? Yes, we're coming up to it. You'll love this. This is great.
They get stuck into the princesses at last, do they?
Yeah. So here she is, the princesses, but here she is referencing that great illustrator from Disney. But look, it's beautiful stuff. This is, all of the princesses together, Jasmine, all of them. But really she's, referencing that great Disney illustrator of Snow White. Hang on, what do I just can't remember. No, don't do that. Can't break it. We could sort of show some of it. Yeah. Some beautiful stuff there. Corey Loftus. This Griselda. I can't even pronounce her other name, but she's got a beautiful first name, Griselda. That's a very Disney. Lorelei Bove, and Corey Loftus. Brittany Lee, Amy Thompson. Where's Amy Thompson? This would be her. She's got a beautiful line, and this, you tell her expressions. They've got such a beautiful offset of balance. Incredible. Here we go into the what he's known for, wrecking things. Of course, it's got that blocky effect. Look at that. Yeah, beautiful stuff. The giant Ralph, rolling blob made of millions of individual Ralph clones. So all these little Ralphs make a big mega Ralph. You can see them all in there. That's the concept. These, again, they're just like spitballs of, want to try this, want to try that. It's cool, isn't it? It's good. This
fire
is
ants.
Like ants, like fire ants.
Fire ants can lock together to form towers, bridges, and even rafts, so why not?
That was clever. It's very clever.
The Darknet.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, it's often referred to, but not really understood. Yeah. Corey Loftus again. Amy Thompson. Corey's beautiful stuff. It has a sort of a 1950s feel. And Amy Thompson again. Over here. Look at that. Kevin Nelson. Corey Loftus. I love this stuff. Corey did a lot of work on a film you like, Inside Out. I'm pretty sure. So we're nearly there. This is the building of it, the assets, that you build in. That's a very
Little Mermaid.
yeah.
I forget her name. Era.
It's cool. That's a lovely character. Who did that? Nicholas. That's a beautiful character. Era 404. So when things freeze or crash or something. So this is part of the story. Symbol monkey. So it's,
Bing, bang,
instead
bang,
of the
bang.
red balloons, black balloons. It's an It reference. So good stuff. They're really clever use of puns and things. Yeah, these are nice. Really clever use of puns. Yeah.
Boris. X-ray vision.
They all have some genesis in the use of logos and things like that, in the past, and grabbing cursors and stuff from screen. So it's a pun on breaking the fourth wall, and there's a whole lot of elements in there. References to other films and stuff. So it's all popular culture thrown in to enhance the experience, I think. But overall, there's so many references that it's kind of overwhelming. It gets a bit overwhelming. I burnt out quite quickly out of this film. I like the first one. This one, I think, well, you kind of look, it's like candy, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's just completely overwhelmed me. But I love this book. The designs here, the talent that's involved in this is extraordinary, which you'd expect from a Disney film, because it's, after all, they throw millions of dollars at it, and it shows. So what do you think?
I like the book.
You didn't like the film, obviously. You didn't miss
I
much.
haven't seen the second film. No.
But you saw the first film.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's the first film on an acid trip. So there you go. That's what it's like. Okay. This is Frantz, Kantor, and
Jim Bridges
saying we'll catch you later.
We'll see you around like a record.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin.